Welcome back to Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa. When we left off, we did some investigation with the sick new investigation theme with a guitar riff, and now we're going to, I think this probably the second to last class trial. I think we have one more case after this, one more chapter. Whoa, Miyukuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Was Makoto's rank high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the two of you?
Huh?
What? Are you jealous?
Hey!
Or are you making some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking. Yes, my boy. Stop talking, embrace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Stop talking. Any second. He can show up at any time. But we stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here or kept you waiting, huh? Kept you waiting, huh? Or what? Jesus! No! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words,
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here.
hey,
I'm here. No Kyoko? Kyoko? You're still alive? Whoa! That's a ghost! He's not a ghost. Toko's picking up Miyukuya's catchphrases now. Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You'll need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that
I
right?
made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish. So spoiled! You're right. There's no penalty, officially. But I bet you'll be sorry later.
Shing!
No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. Kyoko. So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? That's right! Now we've got to deal with a ghost! I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Miyukuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me! Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Where have you been, girl? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you? So...
correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. What? Really interesting. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So,
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However,
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. Oh my goodness.
Just a second!
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with
Makoto.
Monokuma. We can go over the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
it would seem...
This is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. That's a strange way to put it. Class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would you say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? Get on the elevator, time for a class trial, and the doors did shut, yeah. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. Oh, God. It was the blinding light of despair. I drank some water, now we're going in.
I can't wait!
Why is it
I
all-
can't wait!
Why is it all colorful in here? Ah, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs is past.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Let's get on with the show! Thrills, chills, kills, I love that. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly fate, a deadly class trial? Memories float back, Kyoko is gone, and a mysterious masked body appears. The threads holding them all together begin to spin and twine into one. Spin and twine into one. Alright, well. Last trial, all rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If
guess
you
I
can
know what
figure
this
out
is.
who, then I'll punish. Okay,
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Hero,
But Kyoko's standing right there.
she's not a freak.
No, that's a ghost!
Get out of here, Hero.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
I mean, not all ghosts have
she's like the
twisty tails.
latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh my god, Hero, shut up.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right?
Really?
Then
I have
let's
to
compare
prove this?
Kyoko's
God
traits
dang
to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
it. Oh, yeah. All of the traits. The gloves.
I got it!
'Cause the other two
I'm
mean the
talking
same
about her
thing.
gloves.
Piercing glare,
They'll give us
face,
some insight into the
sight.
mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
Because she's Super Mario.
And would you happen to know the answer?
Oh wait, she doesn't wear white gloves.
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
The ghost killed her! Alright, Hero, we're about to show why you're stupid. Does text get moving, please? See, this is why I don't leave auto on. Bow, 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 bow.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Thank you. I agree. I know why it's not Kyoko's body, but I don't know how to present it with this weird style.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Body analysis. Upper half burns. Okay.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, I didn't. I got it wrong. Ooh, what's wrong? Did I say something weird?
Shoot!
Frick! Frick, I blocked!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
See, okay, what's confusing
Okay,
me
then
is
prove
the
it.
two
Prove she's not a
statements
ghost.
that I have to
The dead body wasn't wearing
things
gloves.
on are essentially the
They
same
got burnt
statement.
up in the explosion.
Like one is the
Then
dead
she
body
was
wasn't wearing
wearing
gloves.
gloves
The
before
other
the
is
well,
the
yeah,
dead body
she
must have been wearing gloves. Like
Because
what?
that corpse
Like,
is
I mean,
absolutely
they're like sort
Kyoko.
of like opposing. I don't know.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I think I'm a little too smart for this particular set of questioning.
Gloves.
Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. It makes me weird.
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I agree.
That
Okay, so it's-
Kyoko there is just a
The
ghost.
second statement is trying to prove him
Impossible.
wrong, and the first statement
Okay,
is trying
then
to
prove it.
her
Prove
right.
she's not a
I don't-
ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the
Yeah,
explosion.
She wasn't wearing gloves, so there shouldn't
Then
be
she
anything
was
to
wearing
present
gloves
on that
before
one,
the
right?
explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Shoot!
This stupid line of thinking.
That
going on this
Kyoko
test.
there is just a ghost.
When Hero is literally too
Impossible.
dumb for me to understand
Okay,
his
then
like,
prove
line
it.
of reasoning.
Prove she's not a
Why is this
ghost.
character still alive?
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No,
I
he's
don't
wrong.
Okay. Game, please explain to me why that proves
No.
she...
There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember?
Yeah, what is that?
I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that
I
would have been a
guess.
pretty big pain.
They could have just been big gloves, like extra long fingers, you know?
Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be
This-
pretty
see,
weird
this
for
is the
someone
real-
who's self-conscious
Yeah,
about their
what?
hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
Shut up.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then
Well,
that's
there's
that.
your answer.
The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Byakuya. My boy. I mean, that's literally like everything he said during this segment of the case is what I've been thinking.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Get freaking wrecked. Oh. I love the sarcastic, annoyed straight man character. I mean, Byakuya's not that
Kyoko
sarcastic.
really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
So I'm pretty sure the tattoo
Kyoko
is
really
our
is still
identifier,
alive.
but I don't know which
Then
state.
who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
Wait, what? Oh, frick, I thought there was one more.
Kyoko really is
I
still
think it's
alive.
the last one. I think it's
Then
the
who
last
died?
one. I just somehow, like,
There's gotta
wasn't
be
paying
some way to
attention and
figure
then
it out.
lost count of the thing. I was thinking about how the pink
face
text
was
is now, like,
scorched beyond
spinning around
recognition.
very annoyingly.
And there wasn't
so
any
that was
description in the
distracting me.
Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then
God
there's
dang it,
nothing else
frickin'
we
get
can
out of the
do,
way,
right?
purple text! I try to shoot the purple text, I lose 10 seconds. I try to shoot the yellow text, the purple text gets in the way. Frick off!
We can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we
I
can
hate
do, right?
video games. I always, for some reason, I always think there's 3.
Kyoko really? Then who died?
There's gotta be some... I don't think so. The face was... And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify...
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong! Great.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Are you sure you're not Genocide Jill right now?
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
What?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously?
No.
They really did something that humiliating?
Hiro and Toko should have died like 5 cases ago. Why are these characters still here?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh,
Byakuya
really?
is as done with those two as I am, isn't he? Probably more done, to be honest. Like, I at least like Hiro sometimes.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their
Sometimes
body.
the auto text just like stays.
Fenrir?
It's just like, I'm just gonna chill here for a little bit and give you some time to read the dialogue you just heard. It's all good, bro. Wait, what am I supposed to be doing? I wasn't paying attention. Lol. Whoa. Oh, it slows it down. I didn't even know I could do that. Well, there's a lot of W's, so I'm gonna W. Wolf. Yes, wolf tattoo. Okay, got it.
Now I understand.
I don't know what it was asking me. I wasn't paying attention. I just clicked W because there was a lot of W's.
The representation of Fenrir is
yeah.
a wolf.
Fenrir,
I'm gonna turn off
the
the
wolf
auto
of
text
Ragnarok.
so I actually pay
It's from Norse
attention.
mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast.
Thor
He's the
Ragnarok?
child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Odd.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's right.
too.
I forgot Toko wrote
Then
like
that
books
means-
and stuff.
Exactly.
Such,
The body
such a
we found had a
non-part- such
tattoo of a wolf.
non-part of her character.
Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a
Or
cool
maybe,
ass trial?
just maybe, Mukuro Ikusaba isn't the mastermind. We all just kind of made that assumption, but
No.
is that ever
It
really-
means we were
Yeah.
wrong in thinking
Thank
that
you.
Mukuro was the
I'm glad-
mastermind at all.
I'm glad somebody here is on the same page.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Right now, I like Byakuya more than Hina. What is this world coming to?
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
I like the way you said that. Prattle, chatter, and chit-chat.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit
All
are
right.
part of the student
Party
body?
music's gone. We're back.
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Hero, shut up. Can we just like tape his mouth? I'm gonna defer this one to Byakuya. Please.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been
I
taking
was-
part in these events.
I was hoping the next line would just be Byakuya going, "Stop talking," because that's what needs to happen right now. Hero, shut up.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Oh god, Hero always 5 steps behind, and everybody else is 2 steps behind, but he's like another 3.
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
I love Smug Byakuya.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Me! I'm the killer! Coco and Genocide Jack. Well, what are you saying? Are you trying to get me killed? Do you want me to die?
Shoot.
Oh, dang it. I probably shouldn't have done that because I lost health, but,
I'm sure you realize who I'm...
yeah, I know. I just wanted to mess with Coco.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle
Okay,
Monokuma.
but what if you're
The
lying
whole
about the
time
body
we were
not being
very
in the
careful
garden?
not to go anywhere alone.
Like,
We even went to the bathroom in pairs.
Like you're the only one who can verify that the body was not in the garden when you went there. But what if that's a lie? What if you never went there? All we have is your word. So you're just as much of a suspect as. And I mean, if the body was there back then anyone's suspect. Like.
All of which is to say, the 4
I mean,
of us
then again,
all
I
have
thought
alibis.
it was him back on the
only
Genocide
ones
Jack
without
case, and then
alibis.
he ended up just being like fucking with everybody for no reason at all.
Are
So-
me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
He could be just messing with us, guys.
Exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it. I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Objection!
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't
wait,
in the
was
garden
Hiro
yet.
with him? Did he say that before? I didn't realize that.
Well,
Never mind.
it was after nighttime for
Okay.
sure.
Then I guess it
I'd
wasn't
say it must have been
Byakuya.
around 10 o'clock.
I like how Byakuya is like the biggest asshole in the group, yet he hasn't killed anybody. Okay, so we have a literal serial killer and then like the biggest asshole ever, and neither of them have killed anybody. But like plenty of all these other like seemingly nice characters. I mean, I guess Mondo was like a gangster, so it's not that surprising. But like all these more mild-mannered characters have killed.
So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was
The ones you
between
would
then
most
and
expect
when we found the
killers
body?
haven't killed anybody yet.
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
Are you sure about that? Oh, didn't Toko say something about the time right before she gets the ticket? I should probably. I'm not paying attention. I'm just not paying attention at all. Okay, well, that's fine. Just give me a game over. That's okay. That just means I'll have full health again, and then maybe I'll actually pay attention. I'm just like not listening. So
I
like that
refuse to give up
question came
yet.
up, and I was just like, frick! I don't know what the answer is. I keep zoning out.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Oh my god, we're all the way back
Fenrir.
here.
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
I have some.
Are you thinking of raising?
Well, before that, doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody.
Me and Byakuya can both. Well, it was after nighttime for sure.
Okay, so
I'd
10
say it
o'clock,
must have been
body
around
is not
10
in the
o'clock.
garden. What if somebody moved the body? Like, I mean,
So the murder must have happened after 10
I feel like
p.m.
nobody's truly off the suspect list, except Hiro, because why the frick would he kill anybody? Must have
Then I
happened
guess
after
we can say the time frame for the murder
Wait,
was
what?
between then and when we found the
When I was
body.
getting the questions wrong, it was 9. Hello? What do you mean after 10 p.m.?
Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And
I don't know. I still don't really
I
get it.
got it!
9 o'clock, sure.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
You can't tell, I'm not the biggest class trial fan. Having voice acting actually kind of makes me zone out. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, whereas when I'm reading all the dialogue, like I'm paying attention. But in the class trial, when
He's
they're all
right.
talking,
It had to be around
I
then.
kind of just like zone out.
so we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining
I'm
hall,
still
right?
confused.
Oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Okay. And it happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., so... Wait, when do the sprinklers go off? That's important.
We've established a time.
Okay, they come on at 7:30. That's when I got to the kitchen. And the body was not wet when we found it. So the body was there after 7. We've got it.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of
Who
that
the frick
time.
is counting
Yeah,
her
from
clock?
10 o'clock to 7:30.
No, why?
Shoot!
We can figure out what it percent is.
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Makoto doesn't have an
It
alibi.
took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
11 o'clock.
and 9 o'clock in the
I'm
morning.
imagining this is your
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time. We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
Young Makoto
And what makes you
coming
say
to
that?
a network near you.
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly.
Oh, right.
The body
Freaking
was
threw up
wet.
the body.
Dripping wet, in fact.
Wait, what?
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
Actually, Mother, you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was
Oh
wet?
my,
How dare you spew such indecent words!
you said it, not me. Get the frick out of here. Why is this character still alive. Worst character. Worst character.
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the
Please
sprinklers.
don't ever talk about the mouth down south ever again. What is this? What is with this game and like weird sex and
What do you mean?
freaking flagpoles? Mouth down south. I've had it up to
Denying
here.
the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
What? What? My entire. This just makes me think of that Monokuma voice clip that plays sometimes. My entire existence. Ah!
Yeah, you're totally wacko.
Says you. I mean, you guys are both.
If you
whack.
really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Oh, can we have Genocide Jack back? At least Genocide Jack is funny sometimes. All I have to do is hit Coco. Oh god. The moment of truth. Oh yes, this stupid crap.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything!
How do I
Hold
reload
on.
again?
Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything!
Whatever, I'm just gonna use this.
Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame
Alright,
me?
we got what?
This should prove it.
I'm so good when I'm a
Just
living
remember
piece
what
of
the body was like
trash!
after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry.
So, no, the mouth down south was not right.
If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What are you talking about?
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The
Even
reason
Makoto.
only the top
Makoto's
half
so
was
chill,
wet
but
was
even he doesn't
because
know how to react to this. What an insufferable
while the
character.
body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't work.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could
I'm
have done
listening
it.
to the music.
I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Meaning Makoto's killer is... No! I refuse to believe it! Kyoko murdered someone!
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever,
That's your defense?
which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
So,
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Bitch, please.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
She's not wrong. The body could have been moved. In which case, all of your alibis are gone. And especially freaking... I mean, well, most of them are still there, but like...
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Tarp in the shed. Frick, I know exactly what it is. I hate being right.
I got it!
Got it!
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
The tarp I used to cover up the body!
You catch on quick. You're right.
That would be a...
All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp,
killer.
and that'd take care of the water. In fact,
And suddenly you're
that's
playing as
exactly what the
Byakuya
killer
instead.
did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
I mean,
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place.
I don't know, were they really thinking that far ahead?
In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would she overstate? Why would she want to make me look like No, can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used the way Kyoko said. The tarp must have touched the body, right? In before I have to do moment of truth on myself. But the body.
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about her motivation. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Make your argument. Body before the explosion.
By covering the body with the tarp,
Hold on, I have to open this body analysis. No, frick.
the killer prevented it from getting wet.
Fragments near the dead body. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It was moved, right? Wasn't it moved? Wasn't that a thing that we figured out already? There's a mask covering its head and a white jacket. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen, and there were blood stains where the body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Okay, there's a lot of points here, and there's a lot of different things going on here.
By covering the body with the tarp,
I think we are actually gonna... Wait. Oh, frick, I forgot. You can't save people during the freaking trials. No, I
the
don't
killer
wanna do this
prevented
right
it from
now.
getting
Why
wet.
did
So the reason the tarp was only dirty
I
on
was
one
actually
side
gonna save and quit,
because
but,
the sprinkler got that side
God,
wet.
you can't do that.
But the underside of the tarp, it was
I
totally
have
spotless,
no idea.
right?
I have no idea. There's literally
It's
like
because
4
that
different
side
things
was
that could be
protected
there.
from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
I have no idea. What? The blood on the body had dried.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside
the tarp
of the
would have had blood on it. The tarp would have had
was
blood on
totally
it. There we go.
spotless,
I got
right?
it. I don't know where I
It's
present
because
that
that
on.
side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Booyah!
No, that's wrong.
Achievement unlocked. The color of television. Don't know what that means.
Actually,
know if the achievement
one side
unlocked
being
showed
clean is
up on
pretty
the
strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up. Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
I feel like in the beginning of the game, they kind of held your hand through all the trials. But now I feel like it's definitely starting to get a little more complex.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Like, I actually am having to figure this
Oh,
out myself now.
yeah, true.
It took like half the game for me to get there.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? Blood was camouflage? Wait, what? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm paying attention again. Why is the blood camouflage? I don't know. Kyoko with a weird suggestion that will probably end up being true.
What
I
if,
mean, she just knows
after
everything.
the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Why would they do that?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Wow, Hiro actually figured out something that makes sense and is probably a true
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time.
Hiro will never be useful.
The killer got the blood
tries
from
his
right
best,
there
though.
in the garden.
Nails. Was it freaking chicken blood?
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
How would Makoto even know that? Does she have
Chicken
like
blood?
the same evidence we do or something?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
Well, I mean, she did say she wouldn't investigate it real quick, but I mean, still, like, she really noticed the chicken thing in the, like, 10 minutes that
So,
she was investigating.
you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's
I like
no denying
Nina,
that a
but
chicken
she's
went
just as
missing,
useless
which
as
provides a
Hiro.
basis for my theory.
Like, right
Perhaps,
now,
but even
it's
so,
literally
there's
just
one
a
thing that
three-way
still
discussion
doesn't make
between
sense.
Me, Byakuya, and Kyoko, with the other characters occasionally chiming in with some inane bullcrap that doesn't have anything to do with anything.
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right?
Which just
But if
doesn't
that's
make
the
sense.
case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's
And
not
now
what
we
we
get to
saw.
the point of the
Only the
body being
victim's
moved.
clothing had blood on it. The ground was...
I have to agree, that certainly is strange.
Well, no, but that's still strange, because even if they moved the body, we're saying they got the blood from the garden. So that would imply they put the blood there in the garden. So unless they got the chicken from the garden, went back to where they killed the person, put the blood on the person, and then moved the body to the garden. Which I guess is possible, but like, what?
Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
They weren't? I guess they are.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up.
I agree.
What
actually.
settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
So, am I under
If that's
suspicion
actually what
again?
took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off,
And it becomes possible that the murder happened before 10 o'clock, or 9 o'clock, or whenever the frick was supposed to be the, starting time that it could have happened. Which means that Byakuya, or Hina, or Hiro, or Toko could have done it.
wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still,
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
I believe
Oh
we
no.
did.
I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Oh. Really?
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Frick!
that's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Why is Kyoko trying to trap me? Because she probably thinks I'm the killer. Like, narrator, disguised dead body has been added.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
Can I save? For the love of God, please. Yo, get me out of here. Okay, in the next episode... It's actually rather late. Probably shouldn't have done this episode so late, but it's fine. Looks like we're back to square one, and that's where we start next episode. Back to square one. I'm under accusation. Hiro and Hina and Toko are gonna keep saying pointless nonsense, and, things are just gonna happen. In the next episode. Will Hiro, Hina, and Toko ever say things that actually matter? Did I? Who is the... Anime. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Did Makoto kill the Mukuro? Frickin' hell, I can't even execute a joke properly. Arrivederci.